Hello, and welcome to Politics in a Movie with your hosts, Doug and Mike. I'm Doug.
And I'm Mike.
And this week's episode, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, yeah.
Now, before we get to our topics, Mike, we are excited to have a guest today for our segment, Phone a Fan.
Sure.
Remember, we've been working on that for a while now, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, Phone a Fan brought to you by our sponsor, lentmail.com. Lentmail.com. Create custom, unique emails and track where you give them out. Perfect for when you have to give your email to websites, stores, or even the Contact Us page at politicsinAmovie.com.
Yeah.
Use our promo code PAAM and get signed up for free. Lentmail.com. Try it today. Okay, so right now we are happy to welcome a longtime listener, Jacob.
Hey, Jacob.
Hi. No, it's great to be here.
Yeah, welcome, Jacob.
Yes.
Frenchie tells us that you were currently a college student.
Yes.
Wow.
No, I'm a student at Berkeley. So I'm studying bioengineering and yeah, got some other stuff going on too besides that, but that's the gist of it.
Okay, excellent. Well, we always enjoy our intelligent, educated listeners who participate.
Yes.
All right. Well, Jacob, here's how this is going to work. Mike and I are going to take turns asking you some questions about our last episode, just to test how much of a fan you are of our show.
All right. I'll do my best. I listened to it recently in preparation.
Have you listened to a few episodes, Jacob?
I've listened to a lot of the episodes. I've been listening
cool.
for almost a year now.
Wow.
I think my favorite so far is the Jaws episode.
Oh, good.
Oh, I like that one too. From listening that I have a personal connection to Amity Island, aka Martha's Vineyard.
Yes.
So I liked that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, Mike, what was our previous episode that we're going to quiz Jacob on?
Well, we did whistleblowing and 3 Days of the Condor.
Oh, right. Okay, good. So, Jacob, you did listen to that one, right?
Yes, I've listened to that one.
Okay, great. Well, are we ready? Are you prepared?
Prepared as I'll ever be.
Okay, here we go. I'll start off with the first question. So, Jacob, in the movie 3 Days of the Condor, what three-letter government agency did Robert Redford work for?
The CIA.
Yeah! Super duper! That's nice!
Excellent. Very good start. All right, Mike, you have the next one, I believe.
Yeah, well, so our episode, we talked about whistleblowers. Which of the following examples would you say is a whistleblower? I'm giving A, B, C, and D. A journalist who reports breaking news. B, an insider who exposes wrongdoing within an organization. C, a political opponent who leaks damaging information. Or D, a government official who enforces regulation.
I've got to go with B on this one.
Way to go, neato!
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, B, whistleblowers are insiders. That's right. Good job.
Okay.
All right. Well, Jacob, you're off to a tremendous start.
Thank you.
All right. Next question. In the film, the assassin that kills all the people in the office and tracks Condor, what is his nationality? What country is he from?
Oh, I believe he's from the United States.
No.
Okay.
Missed it by that much.
No,
Well,
he's not. I'll give
okay.
you a hint. You know, there's three of us that do this podcast. He's from where our third person is from.
Okay, well then I'll have to guess that he's French.
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
That's correct.
He's from France.
Okay.
Gilbert Gilbert is the assassin.
Yeah.
All
that's
right,
weird.
Mike, you're up.
Okay. Which of the following figures were identified as early whistleblowers during the Progressive Era? And that's something we've talked about in other episodes. So was it A, Daniel Ellsberg, B, Upton Sinclair, or C, Fannie Lou Hamer?
Okay, well I'll go with A.
No, sorry.
Like a poor marksman, you keep missing the target.
Okay.
He was a whistleblower, Daniel Ellsberg of the Pentagon Papers.
Mhm.
But the Progressive Era were Ida Tarbell and Upton Sinclair.
All right, all right. Well, Jacob, you had a very strong start, but since then you have stumbled slightly.
Yes, sadly.
But don't feel too bad because Mike is really horrible at these things also.
Oh, okay.
All right, so here we go. My last question for
Mhm.
you, Jacob. At the end of the film, when Redford reveals that he has given full details of the government cover-up, what newspaper did he reveal to and he's standing in front of at the end of the film? I'll give you a hint. Do you know the city that the movie is filmed in?
No, I don't know where it's
It was
filmed.
known for the Twin Towers.
Oh, is it the New York Times?
The New York Times. That's correct.
Oh, Daniel, sir. Very good job.
All right.
Okay.
All right. There we go. And I think we have one last question now from Mike.
Okay. Maybe I can cut even here.
Yes, sure.
No, I'm
Okay.
gonna give Jacob that last one because he did come around again.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. According to the podcast, how do powerful institutions often respond to whistleblowers? A, by offering legal protection. B, by quietly fixing the problem. C, by rewarding them internally. Or D, by framing them as disloyal, dangerous, and unpatriotic.
Yeah, I would hope the answers are A through C, but I am very much sure the answer is D.
You're right. Unfortunately, the correct answer is D, that when the facts are damaging, institutions often attack the messenger.
Yep.
You got that one. Good job.
All right. Well, there we go. So now the total tally, Jacob, is 4 correct, 2 incorrect. So not bad.
Check out the big brain on Brad. You're a smart motherfucker.
All right. That's passing.
Yeah. Good job, Jacob.
Thank you.
All right. Well, listen, Jacob, we want to thank you for being a true fan of the show. And as a reward, you get to pick either a Pam t-shirt or a Pam coffee mug.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, both of which sport excellent floating heads of both myself and Mike. Although, to be honest, I think Mike's is larger than mine.
Yeah.
Now, before you pick, Jacob, I should warn you that Frenchie ordered all our t-shirts as mediums for God knows what reason. I think he got a deal on them.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I do have to go with the mug, which, lucky for Frenchie, was my first pick already there. I think.
Okay.
I'm a little low
excellent.
on mugs in my place.
Yeah.
So.
Excellent. All right. Well, that was fun. And to all of you listeners, if you want to be considered for our next Phone a Fan, fill in our contact us form at politicsinAmovie.com. All right. Well, thank you, Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear this new episode. I wasn't 100% sure where you're going to go when you labeled the politics part, but the Willy Wonka, that is a great fit. So I'm excited to listen to it.
This will be fun, I hope. Yeah.
Okay, Mike. Well, why don't we move on to your segment, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services?
Yeah, sure, Doug. I'm talking today about the Department of Health and Human Services, or some people call it the HHS.
Right.
So, Doug, before federal public health protections, Americans faced illness largely on their own. At the turn of the 20th century, I feel like we go back a lot to the turn of the 20th century. And
Yeah.
that's just how everything has evolved. I mean, it was industrialization and the progressive era that, needed to protect people from the ills of industry.
Sure.
But anyways, before public health, at the turn of the 20th century, 1 in 10 babies didn't survive their first year.
Oh.
Yeah, food safety was inconsistent. Medicines were unregulated. Then came 1918. You remember that, Doug? 1918?
Yeah, the old days.
Yeah. Well, what was a big thing that happened in 1918?
Oh, a treaty.
Well, I guess there are a few things, but we heard about it a lot during COVID. That was the Spanish flu, as some
right.
called it, or the flu epidemic of 1918. That pandemic, which, people have compared the COVID pandemic to, America lost 675,000 people to the Spanish flu, to the 1918 flu epidemic.
Wow.
That was more than World War I, which was happening at the time as well.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I think the lesson was clear. In a modern society, we need modern safeguards to public health.
Right.
Jump forward a little bit to 1939, and President Franklin Roosevelt,
FDR.
FDR, he organized federal health and welfare programs under something called the Federal Security Agency.
Oh, the FSA.
They probably did. They had a lot of the alphabet soup agencies back then during the deal.
right.
So jump forward up a little more to 1953. It became the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare.
Oh,
In 1980, jumping forward again, education split off and became its own cabinet agency.
right.
The modern Department of Health and Human Services was born.
Give my creation life!
So today, the HHS oversees, again, we'll get into more alphabet soup and acronyms, but the CDC, the FDA. Do you know what those are, Doug? Can you take a guess?
Yeah, the CDC is the disease control,
Yes.
and the FDA is the Department of Agriculture.
Well, they're in the Department of Agriculture. It's Food and Drug Association.
That's right. Yes.
Food and
Drug
Drug Agency.
Administration.
Yeah, and they ensure food and drug safety.
Yeah,
And then
it
there's-
kind of sounds weird, like food and drugs.
Yeah.
It's like a peanut butter and jelly, food and drugs.
Hey, you got your chocolate and my peanut butter.
Peanut butter on my chocolate.
Two great tastes that taste great together.
Well, I think we see things in the news already, right now in today's day and age where they'll recall potato chips, I'll say, and they'll say, if you bought these types of potato chips, throw them away. That's the FDA, I mean, before there was a Health and Human Services, there weren't necessarily federal agencies overseeing public safety, public health.
Right. Well, we do need to protect the potato chip, Mike.
Yeah. But finally, the CMS, which is the Center of Medical Services, but they're Medicare and Medicaid.
Right.
So HHS has expanded its influence through landmark leadership moments like under Secretary Tommy Thompson, former governor from Wisconsin, under President George W. Bush. They added Medicare Part D.
Is that D for Doug? Medicare Doug?
Well, for drug, maybe.
Oh,
They added prescription drug coverage for seniors. They were kind of on their own, seniors who were on Medicare before that. So this was in the 90s, I guess, early
Is that,
2000s. So then move forward a little more, and under Kathleen Sebelius, who was the governor of Kansas before President Barack Obama made her head of the HHS,
Oh.
she and Barack Obama expanded Medicaid through the Affordable Care Act,
Okay. Yeah. Right.
and they extended coverage to tens of millions of Americans.
So we've been busy. This is why I've got gray hair. We fought to make sure that in America, healthcare is not just a privilege, but a right for every single American. And that's what I want to talk about today.
So even more recently, under Secretary Alex Azar, a former pharmaceutical executive under President Donald Trump, Operation Warp Speed accelerated COVID-19 vaccine development. And so I'm just giving you a little bit of a taste of what it is HHS does and why it's important.
Right. Yeah. No, it sounds like they've had a lot of wins over the years.
Yeah. So, across the decades, HHS has grown from a coordinating agency into one of the most powerful domestic departments in government. Today, they're facing a period of transition, which includes a workforce reduction, reportedly totaling around 20,000 positions were eliminated at HHS,
Oh.
and broader calls to reconsider the size and scope of federal health agencies.
Right.
So at the same time, figures such as current HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., they've brought renewed attention to debates over vaccine policy, regulatory authority, and the role of federal health institutions. These discussions really lead to a larger national conversation, Doug.
Yeah, they sure do.
It's about budgets and it's about bureaucracy, but it's also about priorities. How much responsibility should the federal government carry in protecting public health? How concentrated should that authority be? I think these are questions that are still here. We had a century ago, during the progressive era when the country said, we need to get a handle on these things because there was a big epidemic and a big portion of the country died because of the Spanish flu.
Right.
And then later people were coming back and population was expanding and the baby boom. And I think people were getting older. More people were going on to programs such as Medicare. So these are the questions that we ask about when we talk about HHS and we talk about public health. What should our budget be and how much control should the federal government have? So any questions, Doug? I mean, what do you think? Where should we go next? Do you agree? Do we need competent people in charge? I know that I couldn't make decisions about vaccines on my own. I'm glad that there's government agencies that are tracking these things, diseases. And
I mean, speaking from my perspective, which is viewing everything through movies,
yeah,
I think if I've learned anything, it's that, the CDC can be key in preventing monkey-based viruses and zombie apocalypses.
right. We don't want those.
No.
You got 19 dead, you got hundreds more infected, and it's spreading like a brush fire. You got to isolate the sick, and I mean really isolate them, Billy. We got to get everybody else back into their houses. We got to keep them there.
We're doing that, Sam.
No, we're not doing it because I just drove through 100 people. And if one of them has got it, then 10 of them have got it. And if one of them gets out of Cedar Creek, Billy, then we're in deep fucking shit.
So, Doug, when Jimmy Carter established the Department of Health and Human Services in May of 1980, he invoked a quote closely aligned with previous Vice President Hubert Humphrey.
Okay.
And I think it really captures what the Department of Health and Human Service was supposed to be. And so what he said is the moral test of government is how that government treats those who are in the dawn of life, the children, those who are in the twilight of life, the elderly, and those who are in the shadows of life, the sick, the needy, and the handicapped.
Oh.
I thought that was a pretty appropriate summation, a description of what the goal of the Department of Health and Human Services was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So those words were from Vice President Hubert Humphrey, who we talked about in a previous episode, Doug. I thought it was a good quote for Carter to use when they were setting up the agency.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Now, Jimmy Carter, did he ever get the health agency to really focus on peanut allergies, Mike?
I don't know. I think that's something that came later. I don't know if those were a thing back then.
Yeah, he could have been a huge advocate for that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Mike, thank you for that discourse. That's going to take me a little bit of time to digest, frankly.
No, it's interesting stuff, Doug. I think healthcare is something we should always, I think it's always going to be a priority. And it was in 1918 when we had the 1918 flu pandemic. And it was during the COVID pandemic. And, as long as there's people and health, we need somebody to have an eye on it. And I'm glad that we have somebody there.
Yes, as long as there's bats and monkeys biting humans.
Yes.
There's a strong need.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to our movie segment, Mike. Willy
Great.
Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Great.
All right, well, Mike, this 1971 film, it's labeled a musical fantasy, and it's based on the 1964 book, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl.
Yep. What else has he written?
Well, I'll tell you, Dahl, he was a British author, and he wrote
Yeah.
a number of children's books around in the 1960s. And the ones that, you and I recognize are Matilda,
Yeah.
James and the Giant Peach.
That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. And also Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh, he wrote that too. Wow.
What the cuss? Where did this giant fence come from? We had a master plan.
Yeah, so he was pretty prolific in the children's book
Yeah.
category. And Mike, I got to tell you, one of the coolest things I discovered about this guy is that he was a flying fighter ace in World War II.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, he was like the Red Baron, but British.
Yes.
Also, he was 6'6".
Wow. How did he fit in that little plane?
That's right. That's pretty impressive in itself.
Yeah.
Scrunching yourself in the fighter jet. So, Mike, I think it's interesting that the movie and the book, they're named slightly differently, right?
Yeah.
The book is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the movie is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah.
So, Mike, normally you and I are talking about what did the film do in the Academy Awards. And I'll just say right off the bat that it didn't win any Oscars.
Yeah.
And it only had one nomination. Want to hazard a guess as to what the category was?
Costumes.
And that's not a bad guess. It was Best Original Score.
Oh, okay.
So the music. And, when I first thought of Academy Awards, I thought Gene Wilder,
Yeah.
But he was recognized at the Golden Globes.
Okay.
He got a nomination there for Best Performance in a Comedy/Musical.
Yeah.
And he lost to the guy who was in Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was that hold on. Zero Mostel?
It was Chaim
Topol.
Topol. Yeah,
Topol. Yeah.
that's right. You got it. Topol.
Yeah.
Good for him. But Gene did a great job.
Welcome. It's nice to have you here. I'm so glad you could come. This is going to be such an exciting day. I hope you enjoy it. I think you will.
Yes. Oh, definitely. It's classic.
Yeah. When watching the film, Mike, it has some early titles and credits, and it prominently says Wolper. Like one of the first words that's on the screen is Wolper, which to me is just a funny word, but it's Wolper Productions.
Okay.
Which I didn't know much about, but they produced hundreds of TV shows and movies.
Wow.
The most memorable, in my opinion, Mike, is they produced Welcome Back, Kotter from the 70s.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Sweat Hogs.
Katia. And the opening credits, Mike, if you watch as the credits are going on, it just constantly shows like chocolate flowing all over the place,
Oh, nice.
Like,
Yeah.
Brown chocolate flowing. And it made me think, am I watching an ad for a laxative? A little overdone, but it sets the tone. One of the things that I noticed was one of the producers of the movie was Quaker Oats.
New Quaker Extra Instant Oatmeal. You want to know what's extra about it? Extra vitamins. You get all the nutrition of oatmeal, plus a whole day's worth of all this stuff.
Okay.
And that company, they make breakfast cereals and stuff like that, right?
They probably do a lot of things.
Yeah, well, apparently they were the ones that encouraged the renaming of the film to be Willy Wonka because they actually produced and sold candy that was branded Wonka.
Is that right?
Now, Mike, most of the film was shot in Munich, Germany.
Oh.
Yeah, and so the scenes, they really have a nice flavor to them.
Yeah, they looked very European.
Yeah, and I like that. It sets a nice tone, right?
Yes.
And I love the opening scene, right? Where kids get out of school and they run to the candy store.
Yep.
And there's that weirdo Candyman singing. He's singing Candyman.
Yep.
Take a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew.
Mike, did you know that this was an original song made just for the film?
The Candyman. The Candyman can.
Who can take a sunrise? That one?
Yeah, that's right.
And Sammy Davis made it a hit, right?
Yeah, you're right. It became a number one hit later when Sammy Davis Jr. recorded it. Here's something interesting. It's the only number one hit Sammy Davis Jr. had.
I gotta be me. I gotta be me.
And in the candy store, I just love how the names of the candies are just ridiculous, like Fickle Grubers.
Yeah.
Just the silliest names of candies. But that's a great scene where he sings Candyman and, the kids are all interested in Wonka candy. But poor Charlie Bucket, Mike, he can only look longingly at the candies through the window.
I know.
Waiting until he gets his pay for the week, his job. He was a paper boy. Did you know that, Mike?
Now I do.
Yeah, there's a scene where he's running through the streets, tossing papers all willy-nilly at people.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Were you ever
a paper boy?
Were you a paper boy?
Yeah. Yeah, I had both morning and then another time I had an afternoon paper route. The morning one was the Boston Globe, and it was hell because I had to get up so early in a cold morning. Yeah.
But, Charlie makes it look fun, Mike. He's just running through the streets, whipping papers over fences.
That was a drag, I'm telling you. People had all their different demands, like put it between the screen door, or put it here,
You're right.
I was like, I'll tell you where to put it.
What a great car.
That's right.
Yeah.
But, Charlie could use the money. His whole family is poor, Mike, and all 4 grandparents, they sleep in one big bed.
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
Yeah. And that's pretty efficient. Yeah. And they're also so poor, like they have cabbage water for dinner. Now, that's pretty damn poor, Mike.
Yeah. Jack Albertson, Chico and the Man. He's the Grandpa Joe or whatever he was, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And Chico and the Man, by the way, another Walper production.
Things will be better. Oh, yes, they will. For Chico and the Man. Yes, they will. For Chico and the Man.
Oh, yeah. That doesn't surprise me now that you tell me Welcome Back, Kotter was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so at this point, pretty early in the movie, Charlie walks past the Wonka factory, and the film paints it as kind of a creepy place right away, right?
Yes.
He bumps into some guy, and the guy's like, "Look out for the factory,"
Oh.
Nobody ever goes in. Nobody ever comes out.
But, the factory's starting to get popular because Wonka's having a big contest to find the 5 golden tickets that he's hidden in random Wonka bars, right?
Yes.
So everyone's buying up the Wonka bars. And I love these little scenes where they're, letting us know how popular it is and how global it is, right? One of the scenes, they show a Wonka van parked in front of the White House delivering bars. Now, back in 1971, I think you probably could just drive kind of up to the White House in a sense, right? It was pretty...
You could.
A lot less secure back then.
Yeah. You could park a Wonka van in front of it.
That's right. It's so insecure, you can park a Wonka van there. All right. So, Mike, little trivia. Who finds the first golden ticket?
Oh, Augustus Gloop.
That's right. Augustus Gloop. Wow. Yeah, you got it. From Germany.
Yes.
And the media ask him, how do you feel winning finding the first ticket? And he says, hungry. They paint him, of course, in the film as, I suppose you might say, glutinous.
Yes. Do you think they're covering when I was in Catholic school, we talked about the 7 deadly sins.
Uh-huh.
I have often wondered if this movie is maybe not all the 7 deadly sins, but I still can remember what they are. You want to hear them?
Sure.
So it's pride, anger, lust, sloth, covetousness, envy, and gluttony.
Wow. How many of those? 7?
7.
I think I have 5.
Well, I always wondered if covetousness and envy, what's the difference there? I covet something, I envy something. And they're not really sins. They're they lead to sins, I don't know.
Yeah, I do think that there's certainly a message in the film, Don't be bad children.
Well, I think Augustus Gloop would definitely be the gluttony.
Yes. Well, and as I mentioned, Mike, most of the film was shot in Munich. So it worked out that the kid actor actually lived there. Yeah, so it was easy for him,
Party at the Gloops.
That's right. And now here's an interesting thing about the actor who plays Augustus. He never really did any more acting and instead became a tax accountant.
Okay.
Yeah. And he still lives in Munich, by the way.
Huh.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Now, do you know who finds the second ticket?
Mike TV.
Nope. It was Veruca Salt.
Yeah.
And her dad is a businessman. He owns Salt's Peanuts. Salt's Nuts, if you will.
What business you in, Salt?
Nuts.
These nuts?
Got him!
Now, Mike, I don't know about you, but Veruca is my favorite character in the whole film.
Oh, she's the best character in the movie. She's not a
She
good
is.
person, but she's
No.
good and entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the early scene where we get to meet her, where we're introduced to her, she's forcing her dad to use all his factory workers to open thousands of Wonka bars, right?
Right.
And her dad is always like, "But darling, I can't push them any harder.
Yeah.
19,000 bars an hour they're shelling." And like she'll scream, "Make them work nights."
I won't talk to you ever again. You're a rotten, mean father. You never give me anything I want. And I won't go to school till I have it.
So yeah, she is hilarious. And
Yep.
turns out that actress, she did do a little more acting and then became a psychotherapist.
Okay.
I can see her in her job, like talking to a patient,
Yeah.
"I want you to get better and I want it now." Do you know who finds ticket number 3?
Are we going to keep doing this?
Oh, yeah.
Violet.
You got it. Violet
right.
Beauregard.
Violet, you're turning violet, Violet.
What are you talking about?
And in the film, she's from Montana. Her dad is a used car dealer, right?
Yeah.
All right. Quick quiz, Mike. Dead or alive? Violet Beauregard.
Oh, she's passed away, I bet.
Yeah, she passed away age 62 in
Oh, that's too bad.
2019.
Hmm.
All the other actors are still alive.
Yeah.
And they get together apparently in reunions now and then.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk quickly about the actor who plays Charlie, the kid actor.
Yeah.
Peter Ostrom. He was discovered at a playhouse in Ohio.
Yeah.
Ohio, that's near you.
Yeah.
And he never did any acting afterwards.
Yeah.
And he became a veterinarian.
Oh, okay. I knew it was something like that, orthodontist or something.
Veterinarian. Yeah.
Wow.
I think someone told him to be a great actor, you have to always leave them wanting more. And so that's what he did. Anyway, so in the movie, we get to meet, Charlie's grandparents and his mom. And in the movie, like his mom's trying to make Charlie feel better about his chances because he doesn't win a ticket, right away.
Yep. She sings a song to him, right?
She does. She does sing a song. And she tells Charlie, there's 100 billion people in the world. So don't feel bad that you don't win a ticket. And now, Mike, you know that like today, there's just a little over 8 billion.
Yeah.
And she told him there's 100 billion. So she's a big exaggerator, Mike.
Yeah. Well, was she saying with a M or a B?
She said a B. She said billion. Now, back in 1971, where the film was made, the world population was less than 4 billion.
Oh.
Mike, it's pretty crazy that our planet has doubled in size, 4 to 8 billion.
Wow.
Pretty crazy. But the mom, like she's literally the kindest person in the film. And she has a song, as you said. It's not a great song.
Don't worry, Charlie, or something like that.
Yeah. Don't worry, be happy. Yeah, her song is not the best song in the film. Okay, Mike, next ticket winner. Who wins that one?
All right, now I'm going to guess Mike TV again.
That's correct. Your namesake, Mike TV.
Yeah.
And in the film, he's from Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So he's with his dad, and he likes to dress up like a cowboy, and he pulls out a toy gun, and he says, "Wait till I get a real one. And my dad won't let me yet, not until I'm 12. Classic Arizona, huh?
Yeah.
So this child actor, he stayed in acting for a little bit, and then he became a real estate broker.
Mm.
Funny trivia, Mike. In 2001, Gene Wilder was interviewed, and he said that he enjoyed working with most of those child actors, but he said that Mike TV was a little brat.
Maybe he was method acting, and he just kept acting like a brat off camera. Yeah, he was just getting into the part.
Yeah. So, Mike, even though we all know who the last ticket finder is going to be, right? The film does its best to make us doubt it, right? Charlie like opens one and it's not there. He's, lamenting but it does make the final moment where he does open the wrapper that much more delightful, right?
Sure.
He gets swarmed by a crowd when they see the golden ticket in his hand. He almost loses it, almost gets stolen by the crowd, right?
Right.
But he runs back home, and on his way home, we get to see and hear Slugworth.
Yeah.
he gives his pitch to Charlie, steal an everlasting gobstopper. And then this cracks me up, Mike. Slugworth, he waves some papers, right, around, and he says, I'll give you 10,000 of these. It's like, and I don't know what the paper is.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume it's some kind of currency from the area. But what is it? I don't know. I'll give you 10,000 coupons.
Right. CVS.
Yeah.
Coupons.
Wow.
I will see you your tender victuals, and I'll raise you a 50-cent Yoplait and a $2 rebate on a Domino's pizza.
And as we mentioned in a previous episode, Mike, I know somebody that he always forgets who that guy's name is who runs the Department of Defense these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just call him Slugworth. Yeah, what's his name? It's not Hemsworth. What's his name?
Hegseth.
Hegseth. Yeah. They keep forgetting Hegseth, and they say, Slugworth.
I congratulate you, little boy. Well done. May I introduce myself? Arthur Slugworth, president of Slugworth Chocolates Incorporated.
And so when Charlie gets his ticket, I love that when he reads it, we get to see it close up.
Yep.
And if you pause the movie and you read it, it's pretty much what Grandpa Joe says. And then Mike, Grandpa Joe, he gets to sing one of the good songs in the movie.
Yeah.
Right? What does he sing?
He
sings because he's got the golden ticket.
Yeah, I've got a golden ticket.
Yeah.
And with a golden ticket, it's a golden day.
I think, Mike, you should do that song in karaoke. What do you think?
I think not, Doug.
Okay.
No.
Now, it's a nice moment where all the kids gather in front of the factory and we see Wonka for the first time.
Yes.
And Gene Wilder, he's amazing at just keeping everyone guessing, like, what's he going to do? And I love his outfit, right? Purple and brown and a top hat.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk briefly about Gene Wilder. Other people were considered for this role, Mike.
Oh.
All the Monty Python members were, right?
Oh.
Chapman, Cleese, Idol, etc.
Huh.
Always look on the right side of life.
And then, but also Peter Sellers was considered.
Inspector Clouseau.
Well, Chief Inspector, until we meet again and the case is solved.
Now that would have been interesting, Peter Sellers.
Yeah. Yes.
From the early Pink Panther movies. But they picked Gene Wilder and they said they were captivated by the humor in his eyes. And also they said his inflection was perfect. He had the sardonic, demonic edge that they were looking for.
All right.
And all that's true, right? Like you can see in his eyes. He's got like wild eyes. And I love, there's a bunch of scenes in the movie where something's going on, right? Like a kid's getting in trouble or something.
Yeah.
And you can see Wonka in the background through like a branch of a tree or behind something, but you see his face and it just looks like deliciously demonic,
Oh, yeah.
And then Mike, in the beginning scene where he's got a cane. So everyone thinks that he's handicapped. He's got a cane, hard to walk. And then all of a sudden he loses the cane and he does a somersault. And I think you probably know that somersault was Gene Wilder's idea.
Yeah.
Wasn't in the script. People asked him why he did that. And he said, well, because from that time on, no one will know if I'm lying or telling the truth. By the way, Mike, why is it called a somersault? It just seems like a weird word,
I think it's named after somebody probably.
Maybe. Frenchie, looking up.
Summers. Somers.
Yeah. And Mike, I love how he greets each child.
Delighted to meet you, sir. Overjoyed, enraptured, entranced. Are we ready? Yes. Good. In we go.
Yes.
You can tell he's not sincere. And then when he brings them into the factory, I just love how they unveil each little piece of the factory as they kind of, go deeper into it. He tells them all, take off your coats, hats, and galoshes. Mike, when was the last time you heard the term galoshes?
Just a minute ago.
Yeah. Where's that come? I guess it means boots.
I think of rain boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you just say rain boots? Galoshes. That's just a crazy word too. All right. Well, Frenchie is letting us know that somersault wasn't named after a person, but it was it came from the French word somersault.
Okay.
Yeah, which means a leap or a jump. So leave it to Frenchie to know where French words are coming from.
All right. Thanks, Frenchie. He probably knew that off the top of his head.
He's probably doing one right now.
Whoa, there he goes.
Yeah. Oh, and he didn't even lose the cigarette. All right. Now, what's the coolest room in the factory, Mike?
Oh, I don't know. The room with the goose.
No, dude, the chocolate room.
Oh, of course. Yes.
With the big waterfall and all
Right.
everything's edible. But you know, the unveiling of that room when they enter is like a nice moment in the film. And you know, the director purposefully hid that room from the child actors because he wanted their, you know, real reactions, and you can see it in their faces. You know?
Yeah.
And then Gene Wilder sings the best song of the film, in my opinion. He sings, you know, "The World of Pure Imagination," right?
Yeah. They've used that in ads. Like that went on to have a life of its own, I think.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination.
Yeah, it's a good song. He does a great job singing it. You know, and as he's walking down the stairs, he keeps smacking people with his cane.
What we'll see.
Slow down, I'm singing here. Right? And then we all get introduced to the Oompa Loompas.
Oompa Loompa, Loompa-dee-doo. I've got a perfect puzzle for you.
Good song.
Yeah, the Oompa Loompas are quite the band of singers, Mike.
Yeah. Very fashion forward, too.
I never saw anybody with an orange face before.
And one of my favorite lines is, you know, Veruca Salt, right? She wants an Oompa Loompa, Mike.
Yeah. Now.
Hey, Daddy, I want an Oompa Loompa. I want you to get me an Oompa Loompa right away.
All right, Veruca, all right. I'll get you one before the day's out.
I want an Oompa Loompa now.
And so here, Mike, is where the first kid suffers catastrophe. And it's because, as you noted, the 7 sins, like he's greedy.
Yeah.
Greedy, drinking the water, and he falls into that dirty water.
It's not dirty water, though. It's chocolate.
His mom is yelling at Wonka, like, do something. And then this is the great line with Wonka, right?
Don't just stand there, do something!
Help. Police. Murder.
Yeah.
He's very blasé when all the parents are like, Wonka, you must do something. You know, he's like, help somebody.
Yeah.
And another great thing about Wonka, like he's just eating a little snack, watching, you know, as Augustus is getting stuck in the pipe and the mom is panicking.
The suspense is terrible. I hope it'll last.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, you know, Wonka, he doesn't really like the kids so much.
No.
He's not a kid person, and he basks in their mishaps, Mike.
Yes.
The mom's like, you terrible man, you know?
Right.
Generally, they all think that, you know, he's bonkers.
He's absolutely bonkers.
And so, Mike, now that Gloop is out of the picture, now they take a little boat and they go through the tunnel, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love this scene because, you know, Willy Wonka delights in just freaking them out.
Yeah.
You know, he's like screaming.
Yes.
And they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing.
And then the boat docks and they go into what's called the invention room, Mike.
Yes.
This is where Wonka gives each of the kids an everlasting gobstopper, right? You know, to
Yeah.
trick them, to see if they try to sell it later, right?
Yep.
All right. So now, Mike, which kid is next to get the boot?
Oh, Violet.
You're right. It is
Yeah.
Violet. Yeah. So she eats candy that she's not supposed to eat and she turns into a big blueberry. Right?
Yeah.
So they have to roll her down to the juicing room.
Right. Get her juiced.
Yeah, get her juiced.
Juice? Would you roll the young lady down to the juicing room at once, please?
Now, Mike, you know, I played this movie for my daughter when she was like 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
And after the film, I said to her, wasn't that great? Didn't you love that movie? And she said, no. It's about a mean man who lures kids into his factory and kills them one by one. And I was like, oh, I guess I hadn't really thought about it before, but she's right. It's like a It's like a little horror movie for kids.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. It's like Friday the 13th, but with chocolate.
But Wonka always points out, oh, he'll end up in the such and such room. And,
Yeah.
that goes to this. He'll be, he always kind of points out that.
Yeah. Wonka usually points out, well, there's a 50-50 chance.
Yes. Right.
I think the furnace is only active every other day.
Yeah.
Now, next up is the Golden Egg Room.
All right. Yeah.
Which has my second favorite song in the film. And the victim number 3 here, the kid, is
Veruca Salt.
Veruca. And what does she sing?
She sings I Want It Now.
You're not convincing me, Mike.
She sings I Want It Now.
I want the world. I want the whole world. I want to lock it all up in my pocket. It's my bar of chocolates. Give it to me now.
Yeah, and it's a great song. And she wrecks the room and chases the Oompa Loompas with a shopping cart,
Yeah. I like her dad too, though. Her dad's like, okay, Wonka, what do you want? How much? How much?
Yeah. She wrecks the place. Okay, Wonka, I'll write a check. Now, that actress, she filmed that scene on her 13th birthday.
Oh.
Anyway, so she and her dad get dispatched. And now the people who are left, they all jump in the WonkaMobile, Mike.
Yeah.
The WonkaMobile. Now, Mike, did you know that when I was in my 20s, my car was known as the Dougmobile? Yeah. Yeah, good times. Anyway, the WonkaMobile, it runs on carbonation. And Grandpa Joe says it should go fast because it has more gas than a politician.
Okay.
Even back then, Mike, politicians were known to be gas bags.
Yeah. So there's our connection between the movie and politics.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah.
And so next up is the WonkaVision room, which is basically a teleporter. And our last victim, as you noted, is Mike TV.
Yeah, he gets shrunk down and he's like, Mom, I'm on TV. And she is horrified and she basically ends up putting him in her purse. And that ends the scene, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She picks him up and puts him in her purse and he says, I don't want to go in there.
Yeah.
And I love the Oompa Loompa song in this segment, right? Because it's basically stop watching TV, read a book. Still good advice today.
Sure.
Stop watching TV and read an ebook.
Reading is fundamental, Doug.
Damn straight, Mike. Give a hoot. Read a book. And so now all the other kids are gone. And so, Wonka thanks Charlie and shows him the door. And Grandpa Joe is like, hey, what about the lifetime supply of chocolate? How about a little something for the effort? And this scene is just awesome. With Wonka yelling at them, Gene Wilder getting more and more agitated, right?
Yes.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Now, Mike, back in the old days, good day, sir, was quite the insult.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just as Grandpa Joe is getting ready to storm out, Charlie shows Wonka how good he is by giving back the gobstopper.
Yes.
And then Wonka is so impressed, he makes Charlie the heir to the whole factory.
Oh.
And what kid doesn't want a big factory?
Yeah.
But it's a huge win for the whole, Bucket family, Mike.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all in all, Mike, I think that movie was one of Gene Wilder's staple films, and he just makes it tremendous. And in my opinion, it's the only chocolate factory / Willy Wonka movie that anyone should watch.
No, it is a great movie. When I was a kid, there were certain movies you couldn't just pull up a streaming service and watch an old movie. You had to wait. Like, it was just like, hey, this Sunday, this movie's going to be on. Willy Wonka's going to be on. It was like a special thing that happened. Not even every year, That's how you had to watch movies. They weren't on demand.
Yes.
But that was one of those movies. It was like Wizard of Oz, Sound of Music, The Music Man. There was this list of big family movies that would be on, usually on a Sunday night. you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Mary Poppins.
All right, Mike. Well, I think it's time for this episode to get rolled down to the juicing room.
Yeah, very good.
All right. Well, for all of us here at Politics and a Movie, thank you for listening. And you can check out our website at politicsandamovie.com. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Doug.
And thank you, Frenchie.
Thanks, Frenchie.
Time is a precious thing, never wasted. We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Swifter than eagles, stronger than lions.
If the good Lord had intended us to walk, he wouldn't have invented roller skates.
Stop, don't come back.
Adieu, adieu. Parting is such sweet sorrow.
You terrible man!